Some voices refuse to die, especially the ones you tried to forget. The first time Clara heard his voice again, she nearly dropped her coffee. The sun had barely risen, spilling a pale, cold light over her kitchen, when her phone buzzed insistently on the counter. A number she didn't recognize blinked on the screen, but the message was unmistakable, a voice note. She hesitated, thumb hovering over the play button. Her chest tightened. She had done everything she could to erase him from her life. Blocked, deleted, moved cities, changed numbers. David. The name alone had been a poison she'd rinsed out of her soul over the past 9 months. And yet, when she tapped play, there he was. Clara. The voice trembled, but it was unmistakably his, familiar, intimate, and terrible. I don't have much time. Listen carefully. Her heart stuttered. Something was wrong. He had died. The obituary in the paper had been clear, the funeral attended by mutual friends who whispered condolences with wary glances. And yet, here he was, speaking directly to her, as if he'd planned every word. Her logical mind screamed hoax. Some sadistic prankster? A friend trying to terrify her? But no. The cadence, the familiar inflections, the tiny verbal tics. Only David had spoken like this. Over the next few days, more notes arrived, each longer, each darker. They weren't just messages. They were confessions, riddled with warnings. I'm sorry for what's coming, he said in one. In another, they will say it's your fault. They will think you did this. Listen, Clara, you need to know the truth before it's too late. The words clawed at her sanity. How could he have known he was going to die? She kept thinking back to the night he vanished, the night before his death had been reported. He had been tense, almost fragile, like a man carrying a weight too heavy to share. They had argued, one of those screaming matches that left their apartment shaking with anger and fear. She had walked away, heart thundering, swearing she'd never see him again. And now it felt like he was reaching from beyond the grave. She tried showing the messages to her friends. Their faces paled, eyebrows knitting in disbelief. Clara, maybe it's a hacker, one suggested cautiously. Or someone messing with you. This can't be real. But deep down, Clara knew it was him. And the more she listened, the more she realized the horrifying pattern. David's voice hinted at someone else. Someone who had been there that night, someone who had watched him, someone who had followed through with his death. The last message arrived at 3:07 a.m. Her phone vibrated like a pulse against the wooden floor. She froze, hands trembling as she picked it up. Clara, it's here. They know about you. They will make it look like your fault. You can't trust anyone. Burn everything. Hide. Do not open the door. Please, I'm begging you. I love you, but they... The message cut off abruptly. Static hissed in her ear, like fingers dragging across an old vinyl record. And then silence. By morning, there was a knock at the door. Heavy, deliberate. Her apartment's locks rattled in protest. She knew who it was before even peeking through the peephole. But the reality was worse than fear. It was disbelief. Someone had been watching her, waiting for her to hear the voice notes, waiting for her to act. Clara didn't open the door. She called the police, but when they arrived, no one was there. No footprints, no forced entry. Just her trembling, coffee-stained kitchen and a phone that had gone silent. She couldn't sleep. She couldn't eat. Every vibration, every ping, every hum of electricity made her jump. And then she realized something unbearable. David had known she'd be blamed. The way he spoke, the way he warned her, it wasn't just fear. It was accusation, a preemptive defense. Someone had set her up from the start, and he had left her only the breadcrumb. To survive. Clara's days blurred into nights. She started retracing the last few months of David's life, obsessively. Emails, texts, receipts, anything. And there it was. The subtle pattern no one else noticed. Meetings with a lawyer she'd never met. Phone calls to an unknown number, a small envelope tucked under the carpet of his apartment when she had dared to return. Inside the envelope, a stack of photographs, each showing her, taken without her knowledge, at David's apartment, at the grocery store, walking home. And alongside them, A note in David's unmistakable handwriting. They will try to make it seem like you did this. Do not panic. Do not trust them. I am sorry, Clara. I hoped it would never come to this. Her blood ran cold. Someone had been orchestrating this. Someone had killed him, and now they were coming for her. That night, Clara packed a bag with essentials. Cash, IDs, a change of clothes. She burned the envelope, the photographs, the messages. She left her phone behind. The streets were empty as she drove, headlights cutting through fog. Every shadow made her heart leap. Every figure in a passing car seemed to watch her, judging, plotting. She reached a rest stop miles away, trembling, shaking, trying to breathe through the terror. Then another vibration. Her heart stopped. She hadn't taken her phone. And yet, somehow, a voice cut through the air. David's voice, closer than before, whispering through the static of her car radio. Run, Clara. Run, or they'll blame you forever. The rest stop was deserted. The night stretched endlessly around her. She realized then that some endings don't arrive neatly. Some deaths leave questions, warnings, voices that echo long after the last breath. And some people, no matter how far they flee, can never escape the shadows that follow. Clara drove until sunrise, every mile a heartbeat closer to survival, yet every mile deeper into uncertainty. Whoever had killed David had planned everything with cruel precision. But she had his warnings, his voice, and his love, the one thing the world couldn't erase. And as she disappeared into the misty horizon, she whispered back to the empty air, I will survive this, David. I will. But deep down, she knew it wasn't just about surviving. It was about uncovering the truth before it was too late. And somewhere, in the distance, a phone vibrated softly, waiting for her to listen.